Okay, back for round three, and the next horror movie that I decided to pick out for my horror project coming in October is going to be the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. And hear me out. I think this is actually a very solid remake. So I watched this Saturday night. Yeah. Last Saturday night, I want to say. And this is basically the remake to the 1977 classic that was directed by Wes Craven. And this movie is so much different than that classic. There are some elements that compare this to the original, but this is more of like a slasher. So, this is the story about a family going to like California, I want to say like San Diego, and they drive throughout the desert, and there is no help for miles, and they drive over like a tire track, and it gets their RV stranded. But they are definitely not alone, because turns out where they broke down, this was a nuclear bomb test site throughout like the 1940s into the 1960s. So guess what they have to deal with? Cannibalistic mutants. And this movie is very disturbing and very brutal. I mean, it actually kind of makes me uncomfortable during that one scene, which I'll get into. But this movie does start off a little slow, but once they break down and the sun goes down, this family is not safe whatsoever. So, the father, played by Ted Levine, he used to be like a detective, and he's like tough and broad and takes no nonsense. He decides to hike back to the gas station to find help, but turns out the gas station attendant they met earlier in the film, he goes ballistic, and he feels like he doesn't need to do these cannibals dealings anymore, and he takes himself into like the outhouse, and he literally just blows his head off. And that's definitely one of the goriest scenes in this movie, but it gets worse. So, Ted Levine actually makes it to the gas station to witness this, but he almost escapes in another car, but one of the cannibals is in the back seat. So, later on in this movie, you get your first death with Ted Levine, and he literally just gets burnt at the stake. And these cannibals like sent a message to the remaining family. And this movie just gets crazier and crazier. And it actually does get kind of depressing, which I'm going to get into that right now. So essentially, these cannibals target the oldest daughter, which was like a newlywed, to like this guy, and he works in like telecommunications. They have like a newborn baby. Well, while the new husband is away trying to find help and all that, two of the cannibals get inside the RV, and one of them actually like grapes, while actually it's the youngest daughter that gets it. But it turns out that the oldest daughter was in the wrong place at the wrong time, because the dude that graped the middle daughter, he actually shoots her in the head, and then the mother comes in and he also shoots her, and that's actually a pretty brutal scene, because I mean, you already know that the mother is going to pass away very slowly, but you also get like a jump scare with the oldest daughter. I mean, this dude just like point blank shot her in the head, but I guess she just had that built up adrenaline. She's like laying like this. Then it goes, scared the crap out of me. And yeah. So you have the dad, mom, and oldest daughter dead. It's literally just like the middle daughter, her brother, and the new husband left. So they essentially get revenge on these cannibalistic mutants, and the last 30 minutes of this movie is just edge of your seat, grindhouse slasher goodness. This movie is fantastic. I've seen it quite a few times, and I do think that it is definitely up there with like Texas Chainsaw, Saw, Hostel, and even the next movie I'm going to talk about, which I'm not going to spoil in this video, but this is definitely one of the most disturbing movies I've ever watched, and it's a good one. So I've never actually seen the original. I really need to get on that, but as a remake, this is very accessible if you're a horror fan, of course. And I would rate this an A. I mean, it is totally different from the original. This is more gory and more grindhouse in a way. And it's just a really disturbing movie. So, those are my thoughts on The Hills Have Eyes 2006. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I got one more video to talk about. And I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, bye.